There was zero time wasted this week as Roman came out and interrupted Jey Uso. And oh my god, this entire opening segment was about 15 minutes of intensity as Jey Uso said the reason he was Roman's right-hand man was because he believed Roman could lead WWE. He believed he could lead the family. And Roman just said, you were the right-hand man because I made you the right-hand man. He basically then said, the only reason you was the right-hand man was because Jimmy was hurt. Is that line going to anticipate potentially Jimmy Uso turning on Jey Uso? The line was, you came to me basically when Jimmy was hurt and took that spot. Now Jimmy's hurt again, you're going for a world title. They're basically trying to turn it to Jey to be selfish. Could Jimmy hear that? Does Jimmy believe that? And if so, could Jimmy Uso cost Jey Uso the championship at SummerSlam? But to have the segment end with Jey literally getting straight up in Roman's face and saying, I've already beat you, and at SummerSlam I'm going to do it again. Oh my god, so much intensity, I love it! This is things you might have missed from Friday Night Smackdown. Make sure you've hit the like button, and if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button too. With Austin Theory watching from the stands, it was the finals of the US Championship Tournament, and of course it was Santos Escobar versus Rey Mysterio. Very weird things happened in this match, especially at the end. We come back from commercial break, the doctor was checking on Rey, and obviously the implications here that Rey suffered an injury. We'd see the clip of Rey taking a suicide dive with a commentary team saying it like Rey had a whiplash style effect. The doctor obviously waved off the match. The referee went over and announced that Rey could not continue and that the match therefore was void, and the winner of the match was Escobar. Escobar unhappy about winning the match this way. But here's the thing from kayfabe, let's break that. Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select has reported that this was a work, this was a storyline. So I don't know where you go from here. Does Escobar get annoyed he couldn't beat Rey or something? That this is how he won? I don't know how this is a storyline. Like, it seems like a very weird storyline to pull, but I'm kind of intrigued. I like WWE doing something different and something that we don't know whether it's real or fake, and it got an emotional response from the audience. I looked at Twitter and people were instantly wondering if Rey was okay. So we'll see how that goes. LA Knight was in action this week. Now on YouTube, I 100% definitely cannot tell you what he said about B-Fab, but he did call Top Dollar Uncle Phil. And I mean, I can see it. Can you? Brilliant. To the shock of nobody, LA Knight would be successful in this match. Obviously, WWE just making sure there's a reason to put LA Knight on TV. And also in front of the live audience too. The live audience reacting perfectly to LA Knight. Hopefully the push starts soon. But this will make some people happy. At SummerSlam, we will be having a Slim Jim Battle Royal. And of course, when you get a food-sponsored match, of course there's only one person you put in it. LA Knight is officially in the match, which is awesome. The fact he's going to be on the SummerSlam card, I can see him winning it. Sheamus also added in. And next week, we will be getting LA Knight versus Sheamus. Lots of stuff to look forward to if you're an LA Knight fan. The Street Profits, like we've never seen them before, sipping fine wine. Literally in a segment once again with Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley talking to the Street Profits about the importance of dressing good, very Hurt Business style. We actually would have Montez Ford pointing out to Angelo Dawkins that Lashley was talking about him, and then Lashley would bring in some clothes for Angelo Dawkins to try. They would call him Big Money Bob, but there's like 10 outfits there and that's it. Like, surely if he was Big Money Bob, there'd be like an endless wardrobe full of clothes for him to try out, not just 10 outfits. But Lashley would also mention Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams again. So I'm assuming that meet wasn't just a one-off. He was talking about how they had good things to say about the Street Profits, almost as if to convince the Street Profits that they're, allies, part of the alliance. Do you think Carmelo and Trick are going to join Lashley and the Street Profits in whatever this new faction could be? Asuka would basically warn Io Sky about cashing in her Money in the Bank briefcase tonight. and obviously this makes sense heading up to SummerSlam. Lots of people think Io could cash in, but the big talking point, Shotzi got a sign in Bayley's bag that said, "Bayley, see you soon." Lots of eyeballs on it, obviously taped her hair to it. Very, very cool. Some pictures did come out of Shotzi's new look from a WWE live event over the weekend in New Mexico. Honestly, Shotzi looks great. The Women's Tag Team Champions, the Carrion Club. I don't know if that's their official name, but it should be. They got themselves into trouble this week with their mouths, didn't they? As they had to take on Bianca Belair and Charlotte Flair. I like the fact WWE gave a small reason for this. Charlotte wanted Bianca to be 100% for SummerSlam. Charlotte would pick up the pinfall win, but I don't really know if I'm a fan of that. Obviously, new tag team champions losing in a tag team match. But the story was, of course, Bianca was upset Charlotte didn't tag her. Charlotte obviously taking the spotlight. You know, it's just their typical booking. Here's a question for you. Do you think Paul Heyman has to sit like that all night long, just showing Roman Reigns his lay? Like, what? Surely that's got to be uncomfortable after a while. But despite the fact Paul Heyman didn't come out with them at the start of the show, he did have the old Universal and WWE Championship belts still in his locker room, so that's interesting to note. Carrion Cross has a brand new The Final Prayer shirt available on WWE Shop. Really like the design of that, looks really neat. He would absolutely decimate his opponent Carl Anderson tonight. And of course, after the match, he'd lock in an intense cross jacket, and he wasn't letting that thing go, bringing out the other members of the OC, obviously face-to-face kind of with AJ Styles. This feud still going on. I'm sure like in the build to SummerSlam, potentially next week, we're going to get AJ versus Cross. What do you think of the feud between AJ and Cross? Do you like it? Let me know in the comments below. We had a very early segment between Jey Uso and Grayson Waller, which was set up for Adam Pearce to make it official for the main event of Grayson Waller versus Jey Uso. I don't know if you saw this, but Grayson Waller tweeting out saying that they wanted him to make the Bloodline thing relevant. I freaking love Grayson Waller. Roman and the Bloodline would make their way out mid-match though, and of course it would give us this incredible moment as Grayson Waller would go for the people's elbow pad and all. We would see Roman Reigns laughing as Grayson Waller mocked The Rock. I just thought from irony, that was so perfect. Solo would attack Jey after he won the match. A complete contrast of last week. Roman did not stop him. Instead, he gave the thumbs up for the Samoan spike. But when Jey Uso would turn it around, Roman got in the ring and took a spear from Jey. You would honestly think Jey just won the title the way the crowd popped. What a moment that was at the end of SmackDown. But it wasn't the end. Of course, the beatdown of Jey Uso would ensue, and they decimated Jey Uso, absolutely dominating him with spears and everything else just to prove a point. Roman and Solo stood tall. Let me know your thoughts on the show in the comments section down below. For this week, I give SmackDown a very solid 8 out of 10. Very, very fun show. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the notifications. You'll never miss another upload. Like the video. Share the video. Follow me on Twitter at CWrestlingUK, and I'll see you next time. Peace!